Hello everyone, this is Justin Krebs from Krebs Service Station in Spring Mills, Pennsylvania, and welcome to episode 3 of Repo Rebuild. In this episode, we've got the Sector 750 engine out. We're going to go ahead, tear it down, look at what we have, and assisting us today is Jay.
Hello there.
Okay, Jay, so we have this Sector 750 engine out. Where do we start with tearing it down? Or where do you like to start?
Well, my opinion is I like to tear the primary side off, get that all off there, and get into the clutch.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the other side. So
okay.
We like to start here first.
Perfect. Let's get rolling.
Well, what I do is I get a pan. I got to take all the bolts out, so put a little pan in there to take the bolts out.
So you're saying, as we like to say, nice and organized.
Yes. Have to be organized. Every section gets its own pan to put parts in.
Kind of sounds like what I was saying on episode 2, taking the bodywork apart.
Definitely true. So I just start anywhere on here to start taking the bolts out.
See, we have processes here at Krebs Service Station. When we do a motor, we do a unit, we're into a little bit of anything. We have processes, so we do things a certain way, and then if I have to stop on it, Jay has to start on it, or if he has to stop it and I have to start, we all know where we're at on that particular project.
Okay, I'm taking the primary cover off here. This is our primary clutch here, and this is our secondary clutch here in the belt. We have a cage with an outrigger bearing for the primary clutch. So I'm going to be taking that off next.
Jay just removed the primary and secondary in the belt, and again, staying very organized with everything. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at what we have here. So I'm just going to move this right here so I can spread out a little bit. So first off is the belt. This belt has seen better days. Zoom right in on there. And I could tell there was a belt issue whenever he pulled the cover off, and I'll show you what I saw. So this is our secondary. I don't really see too much I'm concerned about there. That should be fine. And then let's look at the primary. And what I saw is, look right in here, wifey. You see, if you can see it, like right in here. Now I'm going to rub that. You see it's on my hand. I knew right away that was belt material. I didn't see the belt right away, but I knew when we pulled the cover off there was something going on. Now let's take a look at the primary. So I'm going to pop this out, put this to the side, and then we've got a lot of debris in here also. See that? And then these are the rollers, and what we're looking at with these rollers is we're mainly looking for flat spots. We're going to have to measure these to see if they're okay. But what I'm mainly looking for is flat spots on them. If there's flat spots, kind of looks like there's one right there, we're going to have to replace the primary because we don't want to put it back into use with flat spots on it. So we'll get this all cleaned up, measure it, measure the rollers and everything, and see what we have there. Another thing we need to look at too is the sheaths here. And you can see there's quite a bit of wear on that. So actually I'm going to make the call right now that we're just going to go ahead and put a new primary in this thing just because of the wear and everything that's in there. So we're going to replace the belt, replace the primary. Secondary, probably clean that up and reuse it. So we should be good to go there. So let's go ahead, let's go back to the motor. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to take the inner cover off. And then we're heading for the wet clutch right now is what we're doing. The wet clutch, this is the hub, this is the shaft for the hub. And so this wet clutch should only go one way, not the other. See how I can turn this shaft both ways? It should not be able to do that. It's actually catching just a little bit. So this should only turn one way. It shouldn't let me turn it back. So I already know the one-way bearing's bad. So we're gonna go ahead and let's jump into it.
Okay. Okay, I took the bolts out, put them in the pan, and here's the inner cover, and took that off. So now here's where our wet clutch is in here. We're going to be taking that off next.
We're getting ready to pull the wet clutch cover off. I'm fully expecting this clutch not to look very good because of the pieces of wet clutch material that I saw in the oil in episode 2. So Jay, let's go ahead and knock that cover off. So what he just pulled off of there is the cover, and then this is the wet clutch hub. So this does not look very good whatsoever. Yeah, you see the ridges on there? And then also what I'm the most, yeah, right where the one-way bearing was, there's ridges, see right there? You see it, wifey? Where the one-way bearing was damaged, the hub. and we got these ridges. But this unit, I could tell, was not operated properly. See how the outside of the clutch is black? The hub is actually black, okay? That got very hot. So somebody was towing something they shouldn't have been. They were not running low gear. They were putting around in high, most likely, or towing something they shouldn't have been, which caused that damage. So this hub is 100% going to need to be replaced. So let's go ahead and look at the wet clutch. Let's zoom right in here. It doesn't look hateful. It's worn out, but it doesn't look hateful. We can actually see chunks are starting to come off. And that's what we saw. Look right there and there. That's actually what we saw in the oil. Well, we don't want chunks coming off of this because it gets down into the oil. So we don't want chunks coming off, getting into the oil and mixing with the oil. That's why it's so important to run low gear and don't tow things that are beyond what this machine can do. So right here, this is the one-way bearing. So we'll replace that also because we already know this is bad. So yeah, this is going to be a whole new wet clutch. Let's go ahead and pull her off of there. Taking the shroud off, which exposes the fan. So we're going to get this fan off, get the inner cover off, and then we're going to go ahead and get the stator cover off. So Jay's getting ready to take the water pump off. He loosened up these two bolts, and he's going to capture these bolts with these two nuts. So again, organization is key when you're doing this.
This way the bolts are right there with the water pump. You don't have to go looking for them then.
Yep, they can't get lost. They're right there. Like that. Jay's getting ready to pull the stator cover off. This is magnetic because of the rotor and the stator. So sometimes these can be a pain in the butt to come off. So let's go ahead and see what happens.
That came off better than usual.
Yeah, it wasn't too terrible. So.
Ooh, look how loose that chain is.
Oh yeah. This is the oil pump chain right here. And you can see very, very loose. We're going to replace the gear chain, everything there. This is the rotor we were talking about. And then this is the stator. And then this is the crank sensor right here. So that's your crankshaft position sensor. So a little bit more about the rotor and the stator. This is your charging system for your unit. This produces AC voltage. So this unit sends the AC voltage to your voltage regulator, which converts it to DC voltage. Now, if you have a crank position sensor, which is again is sitting right here, if you ever have one of these go bad, what sucks is you got to replace the stator, mainly because the wire comes right through here and it comes right out here. So this is the connector for the crank position sensor, so that all gets replaced. So, you know, if you have a bad sensor, stator, everything has to get replaced.
Got it. None of them are broken.
So what are you looking at there, Jay?
Oh, just looking at the springs here. These springs take up the torquing of the engine, so it relieves the pressure on the gears. Sometimes these springs get broken here. And this one came out very nice.
Good.
So let's keep taking stuff apart here. Okay, we're going to take the nut off here. This is the gear for the balancer shaft that's in here. Sometimes I already undid the lock plate, but sometimes the lock plate key will shear inside here. So a lot of times you have to replace the lock plate. I'm going to take this nut off here right now. And we looked at it, didn't shear the key. So that's a good one there. And I have to pull all this stuff off. Yank the oil pump gear off. And that all can go into here. And I'll set that in here.
Okay, now we're heading up top. We're going to tear down the top end. We're going to start by removing this oil line. Then we're going to do the rocker cover, get the cam out, head, cylinder, and see how this top end looks.
I start by taking the oil line off. There's a bolt here that holds the oil line to the cylinder. Take that out. And there's the top one I got to take out. Now there's washers here. You have to remember to collect your washers here. Now we don't lose those. Then there's a banjo bolt down here. That's on tight. Now I like to take these banjo bolts and put them right back in with the washers. That way they don't get lost. We can take them out later on when we clean things. I'll put this cylinder bolt back in. That way they're there. Then I take the inspection caps off. This gets to the valve adjusters. The one thing I do when I take an engine apart, I loosen these. They get pretty hard to loosen if they're off the bike, if the cover's off the bike. And take the inspection cap off the intake valves. Make sure you put all your bolts together. The caps go in there. Okay. Now loosen these up. Since I have a 10mm wrench out, I start working on taking an adjuster out, chain adjuster out. Get that out of the way. I take these loose. Not that they have to be removed, but you need to take them out when you put them back in, and you can't hardly do that when it's off the engine. And put everything in the pan. That way you have it, and we're there so far.
We got all the head bolts and everything out. Jay, you want to pop the head off? Just take a look at what we got there.
It seems okay, but we'll have to tear it down and measure everything and see if we need to do anything in there.
Okay.
At least we'll do valve guides in there.
Jay, do you see any signs of piston wash, ring wash?
We have a little bit of wash there. There should be carbon all the way around, so we probably have to at least re-ring it. We have to measure the bore, make sure that the bore is okay, and re-hone the bore. And I don't really see any marks. There might be a little bit of mark right here. I'm not really filling anything, so we might be okay with this cylinder.
Cool.
So we won't know until we start measuring things.
Yep. We got all the cylinder bolts out, so let's go ahead and pop that off.
I like to pull these out and pull them this way so that if there's a broken ring, it can't fall into the bottom end. That way, and no broken rings, so that's good. The piston seems okay. It's not really scored up. I'll have to check the ring gaps, the ring lands for clearance, make sure the ring lands aren't wore out. And all in all, it seems pretty good. Bottom end feels okay. Definitely up and down. I'll have to measure that closer then. Yeah, let's see, this side, that's a minor thrust face, and it's looking pretty good. Just a little bit of particles got into it, but nothing seeming bad. Oil's not cooked onto the bottom of the inside of the piston, which means it didn't run too hot. So it's actually looking pretty good right there. And the cylinder, probably can't see on the camera. Do it real quick. Doesn't look like it's really sat long anywhere. There's no corrosion in the cylinder. Just a slight there, which we'll probably clean up in the hone. So it's probably gonna be this may very well be a good cylinder. I'll have to check to see if it's the proper size. So I think we're going to be okay, maybe. So nice. We measure it.
Yeah, got to measure it first and see if it's good.
Have to measure it, make sure it's in specs.
Yep. As you can see, we got the motor torn down as far as we're going to go today. Thank you for watching episode 3 of Repo Rebuild. Stay tuned for episode 4.